Hello, friends. Welcome back to Montreal. Spencer Love with Love Wrestling here with someone who I'm friggin' psyched to be chatting with, Raquel Rodriguez. How are you feeling? It's the Elimination Chamber, your first Elimination Chamber matchup. Gotta be pumped, eh?
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, I know it's snowing and it's cold outside, but I don't want to brag. I think I brought the heat. You know what I mean? No, but on a serious note, I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. It is my first Elimination Chamber match, but it's not my first time in a cage, so I'm not super worried about anything. Like, I'm not unfamiliar. I'm familiar with what I'm going to be put in.
You're prepared. You've been inside 16 tons of steel before. You're set. Then if you're prepared for the match itself, is there anybody you're specifically preparing for as far as it goes? You've got a real who's who, for lack of a better way to put it, but a lot of different professional wrestlers in this match. So is there anybody you're specifically looking out for?
I'm definitely keeping an eye out for Carmella. I haven't had too much experience with her in the ring. You know, she's just making her comeback now, and so that feels like something new to me. It's unfamiliar, so I'm keeping an eye out for her, but I'm definitely preparing for Asuka. I feel like ever since she's had this moment where she's kind of gone to the dark side of Asuka, she's changed a lot, and like it's a different side of her that I think we all need to keep be on our toes and be prepared for whatever she plans on swinging out of whatever maneuver we're in. Who knows? Because those back fists are serious.
Nobody's ready for Asuka except Raquel.
Exactly. I'm ready for Asuka.
Well, it's not your first Elimination Chamber or cage match, I should say, but last month you had your first Royal Rumble match entering at 22. How are you feeling after that, especially relatively shortly after your call up to the main roster?
I feel really, really good about it. I've felt really good about a lot of what I've been doing on SmackDown right now and with WWE, so I'm super excited for Elimination Chamber. I feel like Royal Rumble kind of helped highlight my size and where I stand when it comes to the women's division of WWE. So now that I think the women have a little bit better, I have an idea of that, and the world does, I'll be taking it a little bit more seriously from now on.
Now, unfortunately, you lost out on that match, and of course, your match with Bianca Belair potentially had you won the Royal Rumble, but if you win this, you're going one-on-one with the EST of WWE. Does it have a little bit of extra meaning to you specifically because it's Bianca? Obviously, you look at the history between the two of you, and it's got to be cool not just getting in there with someone, but getting in there with her.
Oh, 100%. I've just been saying that would be one of my dream matches. I've yet to have a moment where I've been able to step into a ring with Bianca across from me as my sole opponent. So this would definitely be a first for both of us. And who wouldn't love a powerhouse match? You know what I mean? Like, I would love to step into the ring with EST because win or lose, there's something to learn from that match. There's something to gain from that match. And I want that knowledge. I'm hungry for more. I know I'm one of the newer girls on the block here, but trust me, I'm ready to go and I'm ready for whatever they're willing to throw at me.
I was going to say, it sounds like you're more than ready for the title of Raw Women's Champion, Raquel Rodriguez.
I sure am. Doesn't that have such a nice ring to it, too?
Rolls off the tongue.
Raw Women's Champion, Raquel Rodriguez. I mean, it's RRR. Just, I love it.
You and I both, I have to ask, of course, I've talked about Bianca and, of course, the Royal Rumble winner this year, Rhea Ripley. You guys shared a really, really cool moment in NXT, the three of you, quite shortly after WrestleMania, all coming out there with your championships. What went into that? Was there a lot of planning? Was it sort of thrown at you? Or how'd that come about? And what does it mean to you looking back on it now 2 years later?
Honestly, there was not a lot of planning from that. It was kind of just a moment, I think, where everyone realized, you know, three girls that kind of came up in NXT together, they trained together, they've worked together, they're kind of all been on like the same system in a sense. Now all three of them are champions. Oh my God, we got to make a moment out of it. That's what it felt like to me, you know what I mean? And then even in the moment that it was happening, because I showed up that day after winning the NXT Women's Championship and then watching Rhea win in person her Women's Championship and Bianca too coming with her SmackDown Women's Championship. So it was like, oh my God, all three of us are champions right now. And when we all had that moment in the ring and we looked back at a picture of us tagging together, we were just like, wow, that was like years ago, and now look at us. It's just so serendipitous to kind of see, you know?
I was going to say, did they know you were going to throw that picture up there? Because when all three of you turned around to see it, like, jaws hit the floor, man.
No, I don't think anybody knew, and what's funny is that was just literally one weekend we had, maybe a year or two ahead of when we all won the title. And so for us, you know, it was a weekend that we were out on the road. We were working these road loops that we do every weekend, and we didn't put two and two together that, oh my God, one day this tag team that we have formed this weekend could potentially be the women's champions of WWE, the triple threat. And so just being associated with them in that scenario, and especially just getting to be a part of that group, I think, you know, Bianca Belair, the EST, Rhea Ripley, Mommy, who's just indestructible. it's just really cool to know that I fit into that category with two powerful women like them.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Now, not only have you been an NXT Women's Champion, you won your first set of tag team titles on the main roster a few months ago, and of course, being above the 49th parallel, I've got to ask about the partnership with Aliyah. How cool was that, and how did you find out it was going to happen? When it first was announced that you guys would be teaming together, I think a lot of people were surprised.
I think a lot of people were surprised, but honestly, Aliyah's one of them too that we grew up in NXT together. When I started, she was one of the first people to welcome me, and I've always had such a little friendship with her and connection with her, and I miss her so much. I hope she's getting much, much better. But honestly, forming that tag team with her and having that partnership brought me so much joy. And I think it really kicked off my run in SmackDown because I had someone like her who had my back, you know? And so like having that partnership and having that camaraderie every weekend when we're on the road and we're in these different cities and we're facing these different challenges is just really, really nice. It's like a best friend that you have with you all the time. And so I miss her dearly. I loved our championship run that we had together. It was so much fun, and she is just a character. She's a ball of joy. I miss that little glam Barbie doll. Oh, so much. I love you, Aliyah.
And that makes both of us. Can we firmly confirm that you guys are going to be going back after those tag team titles then when she's back?
Oh, if she's back and she's willing, let's do it. Let's do it, Chiquita. I am always in. I would love to take down Damage Control again.
I was going to say, were you surprised winning the tag team titles? I feel like a lot of people, when the tournament was announced, basically said, oh, this is Damage Control's to lose. Lo and behold, we've got two champions that weren't Damage Control.
You know, I will say I was surprised, but at the same time I was not, because I was very confident in what we brought to the table. And I've been a tag champion with Dakota. I've wrestled EO multiple times. I've wrestled Dakota many times. So to me, I felt very confident going into that match, and having Aliyah there, she was kind of like the dark horse, you know, of all four of us. And so that was even better because I had the dark horse on my side. So I just think together we made the most amazing team. And as much as it was a shock to us that we won the tag titles, I was very blessed and grateful that we did, because I mean we had a pretty good run and we made some cute champions.
Heck yeah. Now we talked about firsts, we've talked about development. Let's talk about two matches with Ronda Rousey. I think it's really cool when they happen because one was real early in your SmackDown run. Of course, you have one a couple of months ago where maybe you're a little more, like you say, fleshed out. You're a former champion. Was there a difference in the two matches for you? Did you prepare differently? And how much did you enjoy getting the opportunity to get in with the baddest woman on the planet?
You know, there was a huge difference between the two because, like you said, the first one happened. It was my second match ever on SmackDown. And I was told the day of what was happening and what was going down, so there really wasn't much time to prepare. But I told myself, you know what, you've been training at NXT for this, you've been training your whole life for this. This is just where you need to bring your game and you need to bring your A game. You need to show them that you can handle this kind of situation. And I feel like we went out there and I put on a pretty good little battle and gave the champ a run for her money. The second time around, I had a little bit more of a heads up. You know, we kind of built up to it. They were hurting my arm throughout the story, so I had the injury to kind of work with, the arm brace to try and get over. So I was slowly, mentally, physically preparing for the match, and I think it did show, and it did help a lot better when it came to putting across that, you know, I am a competitor in this, and Ronda is the baddest woman on the planet. She is Ronda Rousey, for goodness sake. Like, you can't just walk up to her and punch her out and expect to beat her. Like, I say this to everyone who asks me who like how she is in the ring. She's amazing. The way she moves is just different. Her style, her body, her athleticism, it just feels different compared to any other opponent I've been against. And so having that first match with her really helped me realize that. So when the second time came around, I felt like I was a little bit more prepared for this double jointed MMA slipping out of everything type of thing that she is, because it was insane. But honestly, both of them helped me so much. They helped me grow as a competitor. They helped me grow as a superstar. And I would love to have another opportunity against Ronda Rousey any day of the week.
Well, let's hope that it's for the Raw Women's Championship, and let's hope that she is the challenger this time around.
Kind of get me when I got my title.
Hell yeah.
I'm ready.
Love to hear it, Raquel. Thank you so much for the time. Raquel Rodriguez in the Elimination Chamber tomorrow night here in Montreal. Thank you once again, and stay tuned to Love Wrestling for more coverage from Quebec.